try to get earlier to talking about the film.
They say, what's the series going to be about? And one of the protagonists says, it's a story about nothing.
Illustrate about my interfere in that film. Maybe because I'm working with a disabled person since 6 years, and I figure out that disability will never prevent anybody from getting
that person who is speaking about a story, about her life, how it is going on, and about her dream, and what she is seeing in the ground, and about maybe I think about Ahlam. She is my friend who I'm going to visit her and see what's going on.
I mean, he can add some people, but if he needs characters, that's another, because what I see in this is a 10-minute long explosion, you know, of struggle in the air, actually, yeah? I mean, but
والله مش ذنبي يا ناصر، يعني لما كنا بأثينا كان معنا أبو سيدو، إحنا نمشي هيك ويمشي هناك، نقول له عم الطريق من هون ما يردش. لا
romance. Be careful not to go too much into political court things and prison and so on. It's a film about romance.
Your voice. You're putting your own experience in the voice that leads us through. That's the log line. And basically that's what the series was about. It was a comedy series about just these people living their lives in New York. But that log line always sticks to my mind because it's the shortest log line I know. A story about nothing. Now that captures people's interest. And some of you already have a sentence. It's very, very difficult to say in one sentence what your story is about, but it's important. One of the reasons it's important is because the log line is also known as the elevator pitch. An elevator pitch means you're at a festival, or let's say your project wasn't selected by George, but George is fine if you come in May for the pitching session. Now, you have a project that you really want to do. All those commissioning editors are there. Your colleagues got selected. They're you. They're selected. They're the ones who are coming to pitch. But you've pinpointed that commissioning editor from Arte, and somebody told you, I think Arte would really be interested in your film. And Alex Salat from Arte, he's sitting right over there. And so you think, I'll try to catch him in the coffee break. And then you suddenly realize that you're in the elevator with him. He's coming up the same time you are. And so go ahead and you say, hello, Mr. Salat. You recognize him because you'll see you've seen him, you've seen their picture. My name is Anne Julian. I have a very interesting series that I want to do that I think you'd be interested in. It's a story about nothing. And then you hear ding, and you've arrived at the 7th floor. That's all the time you have to tell him about your series. But he's interested because that log line is sort of intriguing. Now, it's not enough to say what the series is really about, but it's enough for him to sort of look at you and think, I want to know more. So you've introduced yourself, you've said the name of your project, and you've given that commissioning editor the log line. And that was enough to get you started. That was enough to get your foot in the door. He'll remember who you are. He'll remember that you had a funny or interesting log line. And then when you see him in the coffee break, you can go right into the story. And that's the next thing. Why do you suppose Costas's organization is called StoryDoc? Because the next important thing is the story.
Please, I have one question. Now, the log line shouldn't be the main thing.
I mean, he can add some people, but if he needs characters, that's another, because what I see in this is a 10-minute long explosion, you know, of struggle in the air, actually, yeah? I mean, but and if it's possible or not. And also, I don't forget the generation thing, because I think that in the trailer, the last one we saw, the old people were fantastic. They were absolutely fantastic. And I mean, you should have this little historical perspective that once upon a time it was possible to fall in love without any big problems. And today it's difficult, huh?